everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Today, we are going to music and mathematics connections in the early years. So let's get started. Yes, so this is module 3 and lecture 9. It's going to be about music and maths. So a little bit about the aims that we're going to discuss today. It's going to be about connections between music and maths in the early years. It's going to be about integrating music into math activities. And it's also going to be about cultural variations in musical traditions. Now, a little exercise. What I would like you to do is, if you all know what are syllables, they are actually the vowel, the sounds that you hear in any word. So for example, if I say Paris, there are main sounds that you can hear is pa and ris, right? So you can count it as 2 syllables. So I'm going to clap twice for the word Paris, okay? So Paris. In the same way, I'm going to clap 3 times for India, because when I say India, I can hear 3 main big sounds, right? So I'm going to say India. Can you try that? In the same way, when I say Sri Lanka, I again hear 3 sounds. So I'm again going to clap thrice. So it's going to be Sri Lanka. Now, how about trying this with your own names? So I'm going to try it with mine. Would you like to, count how many syllables your name has? Well, my name has 3. Find out. See, yeah, it has 2. How many syllables does your name? Please leave the number in the comment section. Counting rhythm can actually be used to teach maths in the early years? Yes, be used, right? Now, we all know that music is full of rhythm, the beat, the tempo, all of that forms the basis of pre-math skills in the early years. Now, what are pre-math skills? We'll find out more about it in a little bit. Let's see this video to find out more about the connection between music and maths. Okay, so I hope we got a little insight into what is the connection between music and maths, especially in the early years, right? It really helps in opening up the neural pathways and helps the brain to develop better and faster and even stronger. Let's move on to understanding. As you all know that, any theory that we think of, or, we want to believe in, is never, without a backup, right? So we always need evidence, we need data, we need research to tell us why we need to believe what we need to believe. So what is it about music and maths that has, data and research telling us? What do you think? So here we found that you can see a list of things that research is telling us, and also a lot more that came up. So we obviously couldn't fit in everything, but whatever best I could put in into one slide is all here. As Gardiner said that he found that 7 months of supplementary music lessons, children had higher scores on than control groups, than groups that were, that had no connection or no effect lessons, that had no, that were not given any musical lessons, right? And even more recently, Rosher and Lam found that children who received keyboard lessons, singing, training, or rhythmic instructions scored higher than controls in arithmetic tests, with the rhythm group scoring higher on sequencing and arithmetic tasks. A 2016 study at the University of Southern California's Brain and Creative experiences in childhood can actually accelerate brain development. Wow. And according to the National Association of Music Merchants, learning to play an instrument can improve mathematical. Actually believe all this is true. How easy will it be now to teach maths? What do you think? Well, at least for me, I can say that, because when I was in, not in my early years so much, but later on in my primary years, when I was in primary school, I was very scared of math. But, knowing the fact that, I could have learned better with music around, it would have been a different game for me, right? And for most of us, I'm sure. So definitely we found out that there are many overlapping concepts between math and music, including rhythm, counting, understanding patterns, high and low, up and down, because music has all of this, right? And understanding that both math and music have numerical concepts and perhaps even a deeper understanding of the world. And so now we can confidently say that learning one of the two or either of them improves an understanding of the other, and vice versa, right? So if you learn, if you give the experience to the child to learn music, for example, they will pick up math faster. If they are given the opportunity to learn math and they are interested, right? So it helps either ways. Now, very importantly, some things that I was thinking of, how integrating music into math classes. When you're taking a math class for early years, how can you integrate music? So breaking it down into pre-math skills, or because that's what's most important in the early years, even before, much before the numbers come in, we have concepts like matching. We have concepts like sorting and classification, right? Then we have a concept like, just sorry, we have a concept that is pattern, we have sequencing, we have ordering of numbers, right? So let's get back to matching. How can you teach matching as a pre-math skill to children? Well, it's the most simplest thing to do, right? The teacher does an action and the child copies it, and the child copies it, right? So that's as simple as that. For example, if I say, the bear went over the mountain. Okay, how high is the mountain? Is it really high, high, high? So as the teacher's doing the rhyme, the child also keeps, copying the action and keeps experiencing the thing that yes, it is a high mount. Okay. And similarly, I'm sure you will think of many other actions and many more rhymes that can go with that can teach children the concept of matching. And I think it comes naturally in most of us, right? During not just songs and singing, but in most of our daily class routines, right? Matching takes place. And then we have sorting and classification, one of the very important math concepts. Now, how do we bring music into that? Now, you know, uh, I thought of the song which also actually goes for sequencing, is the song called Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes. So when you sort your actions into my these are my hand actions on above my shoulder actions. This is head and knees. Now I have to bend for my knees and then I have to bend for my toes. So I'm already sorting them into two different actions. The song, I'm sorting it into this, hands up action, maybe like on my head and on my shoulder, touch my knees and then touch my toes. So I have two actions, bending and straightening, bending and straightening. Okay, so that's a sorting, or that's a classification that I can talk about, that is subtly taking place while I'm teaching a song or a rhyme. Okay, now this is another song that I found very closely related to, directly talking about sorting. So I thought I'd probably even share this with all of you. So let me just play it. Here it goes. This is a story about a family of picnic without any cares. Oh, they're sorting out a basket of colorful fruits. Just a family of bears. What a they cut red with the red ones, blue with the blue, green with the green ones, and then a yellow too. Purple with the purple, and another one too. Just a family of bears sorting fruits. This is a story about a family of bears. On a oh, they're sorting out a basket of colorful fruits. Just a family of bears. What a black ones, just two, then two. Okay, so I'm not playing the whole song, and I'm sure you know what it is all about. And I'll be also sharing the list of all these resources in my live lecture, or I will also be probably putting it up in a PPT. And if you would like some more resources, please do comment down in the comment section below, and I can share them with you. Yeah, so this is the song that talks about directly about sorting and classifying fruits, different colored fruits. You can even use this song to classify fruits and vegetables. You could use songs to classify or sort so many different the animals, and farm animals, and pet animals, maybe, and anything and everything that can be used, right, through songs. If you can think of some more classifying or sorting songs, please do mention it. We can share our lovely resources with the rest of the teachers around the world. And next, we move on to pattern. Again, as a very important pre-math skill, because math is all about patterns, right? Be it shapes, be it numbers, there are repeating patterns everywhere. So when you do repeating actions with music in the class, children it sort of sets a pre-notion of math. So it's setting a nice ground faster. So when you have, for example, let's do this. Let's try this together. I'm going to clap snap. Clap, clap, snap. Okay, so let's see you doing that. Clap, snap, clap, clap, snap. Can you try this rhythm? Repeating rhythm, please. Clap, snap, clap, clap, snap. And then you can even go faster with it. So clap, snap, clap, clap, snap. Clap, snap, clap, clap, snap. And then you can even use your words. So children are learning the math, the rhythm, the counting, also the words and the new vocabulary. You can do that as slow or as fast as you can to make it like an enjoyable, fun game for children to learn the pattern. And you can, ask other children to add their patterns inside. Okay, so involve children as much as possible so that because they are full of ideas, they're bubbling with ideas. And once they understand what you are talking about, or what is your, what is your main gist of the class or the topic, they will just come up with amazing ideas. I have some amazing, thinkers in my 4-year-olds, in a class of 4-year-olds, and they come up with some amazing ideas too. So, and my lad is one thing, but it's what it turns out to be is even more amazing in the class, because they come up with so many ideas and we just let it flow with that. So yeah, so that's about pattern. And then you can, let's see about order and sequence. So there are many songs that you can, teach to, teach the order of numbers, right? So you have songs like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive, or 5 little ducks went out one day over. So this 5 little ducks, especially in the 5 little monkeys, talks even about backward counting and a more subtler way of teaching subtraction too. Also 10 green bottles. It starts with, 10. So again, it's backward counting and subtraction. So a lot of these subtle concepts go into the child's mind, and a lot of readiness is set for math in this way. Again, songs like head, shoulders, knees, and toes, like I said, for classifying, can also be used for sequencing, because that's how it goes, right? Head, and then shoulders, and then knees, and then toes. So that's how the children even remember the sequence of the words and the order of the song. So I think music and rhymes are a phenomenal way to get maths onto the plate, onto their plate in very, very early years. So yeah, it's magical. Yeah, coming to oh yeah, before I move on to cultural variations, I would like to say that if you have more ideas, that skills to children by music, through music, please let us know in the comment section below, or you could also wait till the live lecture and share your ideas. It'll be wonderful to hear you. Now, moving on to cultural variations in musical traditions, one way that music brings cultures together is through the exchange of musical styles and influences, right? Now, many different genres of music have been incorporated elements of those cultures into their own music. We've heard of, age-old music, folk songs, all of those folk songs being handed down through generations and have, they kept moving on, and then we still hear some of those really old folk songs. A lot of groups of musical uh, cultural songs. So in the sense that they keep it alive, they keep that, and that's amazing. That's amazing too, right? So what does this mean for us? This means that we will have a lot of different children in our class, like you spoke about cultural diversity. In our will have different children in our class from diverse cultures, from diverse backgrounds. How do we then use this fact that they are in our class? Now, what do I do? Do I only play one kind of music for them? or do I incorporate different kind of music or cultures all around the world? Yes, right. It does. Yes, it does mean that. It means that, it also actually means that we have newer versions of old nursery rhymes that can be used in different countries, and even new schools. And it can also mean that you have different you have music from all over the in your class. You could also sing nursery rhymes in the different languages. The way I would, in my class, for example, if there are diverse children from different countries and not native English speakers, I would, if I'm teaching a song, and for example, let's say one I caught a fish alive, maybe I will teach it in another language that, have the child in, from that country, and maybe in Swahili, or maybe in Japanese, or maybe in German. What your class culture uh, look is like. So it's on teacher discretion on how you use music, and how you use music to help children foster love for culture. Like last lecture, we spoke about how we can foster love for culture and respect for culture. Then you sing songs that are native to each child's country in your class, or each child's native home or native language. It just brings in so much of ease and happiness, right? So some of the things that we can do to embrace cultural variations is, we could collaborate with music specialists, or community musicians. Maybe we could ask the parents who, if they would like to ask somebody to come in native language, or some native uh, folk song or folk dance that they can come and introduce the children in, children with. So in that sense, different languages come into play, different music comes into play, and the children are exposed to different, cultures as well. We can promote inclusive learning environments that celebrate, allowing children to express their various cultural heritage, and also, by way of singing their songs, maybe have a rhyme day where each child can sing in their own native language, or sing a poem, or maybe even write a few lines. In the early years, they could probably sing a few lines in their native language. They could learn from their countries, and come and have like sort of a, like a performance day way, not in a, competitive way, but in a fun way. We could provide opportunities for students to explore and learn about different musical traditions from around the world. This again, like, collaborating with music specialists, we could have, opportunities for students, in the sense we could have maybe explore, in the sense any musical performances happening, if there are any special, musical shows coming up pertaining to cultural music from, with different to do with different traditions around the world. We could have a little class about just watching that, and exploring and talking about that, what they found interesting, what they didn't found, what how what was similar between their music and the other culture music, and things like that. So there's lots of, there's scope for a lot of discussion when you listen to music from around the world. There are a lot of, it can actually so a lot of scope for learning there. Then we can, of course, um, foster empathy, respect, and understanding through multicultural musical experiences. Yeah. So this is these are some of the things that we could do. I'm sure you have a lot more brilliant ideas. We would love to hear from you. So don't forget to comment or attend the live lecture. Let us know. Yeah. So in a short summary, just picking up a few points that you can take away today. Music and mathematics have a natural connection that can enhance learning in the early years education. Integrating music into math activities promotes mathematical understanding, cultural appreciation, and creativity. By embracing music math integration, we can create engaging and inclusive learning experiences that inspire young learners. I think the last line is just the most amazing, it's something that I resonate with, is to inspire young learners. Anything that you do in the class that can inspire our young learners, that'll be just that class learning that they, rote learning that they go home and forget. So it's much more important to have, it's much more important to inspire them than to just teach them for that half an hour or 1 hour and then just, So yeah, so let's keep inspiring and let's keep connecting. Thank you.
So high, I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.